This is not lag, this is them leaving the match. And I don't blame them because Registeel needs to catch that flight back to the Hoenn region. Bang! 1 HP KO. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Ox here with another video. If you're new to the channel, we do upload Pokemon Go content mostly related to PvP. And if you're a returning subscriber like Morella Mares, thank you for the support. In today's video, we're taking a look at some open Great League action featuring my new favorite Pokemon in the Great League, Shadow Quagsire. This thing is an absolute beast, and we're using it in a team that was made famous by Battle Bill. This is the Double Mud Boy strat, but instead of the Whiscash, we're using my boy, Shadow Quagsire. Now, I started using this team at rank 13. I was running a bunch of spice before that, and between rank 13 to rank 18, I've actually accumulated a win rate above 80%. I've had 0 negative sets with this team, only 1-3-2. Every other set in between those ranks has been either a 4-1 or a 5-0. Obviously, this team is going to be extremely weak to a double grass line, which thankfully for us has appeared to be non-existent in the meta currently. So this team definitely has a lot of play. Running Sludge Bomb on the Quagsire, which I feel has a lot of synergy with a Skarmory lead. It makes it a bit more spammy than when it is running Stone Edge. The team is a little bit weaker to flying types as a result of that, but we could still get around it. So this team is a classic ABB style. What that means is that we're going to have to try and lure out the grass type. That means switching out of some neutral or favorable matchups in the lead sometimes, because if you're losing to a grass type in the back without luring it out first, you are definitely playing the team incorrectly. We're going to be taking a look at 15 battles today, so it's going to be a bit longer than usual. If you guys enjoy this type of content, make sure you smash that like button, it really helps the channel grow. Leave a comment in the comments section down below. And without any further ado, let's jump into the first battle right now. Alright, so a bit of a longer video today. The first 5 battles are hand selected, featuring some difficult leads, interesting spots that we run into. The final 2 sets in this video are going to be my most recent sets using this team. So Talonflame here in the first matchup, horrible lead for Skarmory, so we swap out into the Shadow Quagsire, which is the safe switch on this team. We get met by a Jellicent. Now, Jellicent is definitely a core breaker for this team because there isn't really any good answer to it aside from maybe Skarmory, which still can lose that match pretty hard. So Quagsire here is going to get a shield after landing that Earthquake. We tank a Shadow Ball as you see. Sludge Bomb going to get the shield from the opponent, and they're going to farm us down. Now at this point, we're going to actually come in with the Swampert here because they're not actually at a Shadow Ball yet, so they're going to throw a Bubble Beam. It's totally fine. We're going to tank this, get off to an early energy lead here with the Mud Shot, see what they want to come in with. Can't really bring in the Talonflame. They come in with Vigoroth. Now remember, we are debuffed here, but I can't swap out into the Skarmory because I don't want to get farmed down by that Talonflame. Give the opponents a chance to win here. So what we're going to do instead is just stay in with the Swampert and look to sweep with the Shield Match. Now because we are a Shadow, these Hydro Cannons, despite being debuffed, still dealing heavy damage, able to take out the Vigoroth right here. And now the opponent does save their shield for the Talonflame, and because we are debuffed, one Hydro Cannon isn't going to be enough to take out the Talonflame. However, it should be able to put it very low. So this first Hydro Cannon is going to get the shield from the opponent. The second Hydro Cannon is going to put it in the red, at which point we could come in with the Skarmory. One Air Slash should be enough to take it out. We win that game with a debuffed Shadow Swampert. Just to tell you how broken that Pokemon is, absolute monster right there, taking that first game. Skarmory into Mandibuzz in match number 2. And I did manage to go on a crazy win rate with this team, above 80%. So only 1-3-2. Everything else has been 4-1, 5-0 thus far. Very strong for the current meta. I mean, the biggest threat to this team is basically double grass, which is kind of non-existent at the moment. So definitely could get away with a team like this, at least in the ELO range I'm at, which I guess isn't even an ELO at this point. It's just rank 18. So going for the Sky Attack right here and try to swap out, but the opponent did CMP tie. So foul play comes through, I actually let that go and swap onto Quagsire. Now the opponent comes with Stunfisk, which tells me immediately that they do not have a good answer for these Mud Boys in the back. So looking very good for my Swampert in the back. Now the Mandibuzz does still have some, so that's going to be an issue because we can't really Mud Shot down. We do get the shield there from the Stunfisk. We'll be able to survive another Mud Bomb here and actually get to a second Earthquake without having to invest a shield of our own. So Earthquake going to come through here. This will obviously be enough to take out the Stunfisk. or get the second shield. If they shield like they do, we're going to let the Quagsire go down here. They're actually forced to throw energy because they cannot farm down. Come in with the Swampert, shield once, and just throw the Hydro Cannon right away. Don't want to shield or take too much damage here. So shield up this first Mud Bomb. We have to shield here because the Skarmory is so low. We have to keep health on something at this point. Hydro Cannon going to come through here. This will be enough to take out the Stunfisk, and we'll see what the opponent wants to come back in with. So they come with Wigglytuff, and right here you have to understand that they're going to try and catch the Sludge Wave onto the Mandibuzz, right? So we don't throw it there, we hold off. They actually swapped out a bit too early, so we come back in with Skarmory. At this point, they're in the range of Sludge Wave. We have the move ready. We have a shield. This game is over. So Sludge Wave coming through. Wigglytuff. Bang! There it is, catching the wave to the face, and we are off to, well, this isn't from one set, so we win that game, but it's not from the same set right there, I don't think. But the final two sets are all from the same set. These battles right here are just ones that I thought were interesting to cover in these first 5 battles. So Umbreon lead right here. We're going to swap out immediately into the Quagsire, and the most important thing about running a team like this is you need to keep the Skarmory alive for that potential grass type in the back, right? So a lot of these lead matchups, even when they're like a good matchup, you have to swap out at some point if the opponent doesn't. And in a lot of cases where it's a neutral matchup, like Umbreon for example, you just have to swap out immediately or swap out after taking one charge move, throwing a charge move. You have to swap out to draw out the grass type. If you end up winning the lead and then lose to a grass type in the back, it's because you're not playing the ABB properly, right? So here the Umbreon going to take a Sludge Bomb right here rather, and I'm not sure if that would KO, but we did get the second shield, and I figured they would shield, so that's why I decided to match the shield and take the shield advantage here out of that match. So right here I actually decided to do an interesting play. So I'm actually going to look to make this Umbreon dump all of its energy on the Skarmory, and once it does that here, I'm going to come in with my Swampert and look to get off to a huge energy lead, because I'm assuming at this point they don't have a grass type. Probably would have brought that in when I came with the Quagsire, right? So I'm going to shield here, get off to a huge energy lead. It's actually a Pelipper in the back, which is a bit of a problem. However, we can take one Weather Ball, and Sludge Wave absolutely hurts from the shadow, so now it's in a Hydro Cannon range. We're going to take a Weather Ball right here, just throw the Hydro Cannon immediately at this point because Wing Attack is actually doing quite a bit of damage. So things aren't looking too great right here, but the opponent, if they come in with Umbreon, we actually should be able to farm down, which they do. So this gives us free energy. Actually swap onto Skarmory while banking that energy right there. It's an Azumarill in the back. All that energy we stored on the Skarmory earlier is going to come into play right here. So the first Brave Bird gonna come through. The second one going to come through before they got off the move. This should be enough to take out the Azumarill. We're actually going to be able to win this game with a move still banked on the Swampert in the back. So a very nice win right there, and a good example of swapping out in a neutral lead. So let's hop into the next battle. We got Skarmory into Swampert. Swampert, a bit of an issue for this team in the lead. Obviously it's playable, but it can be Skarmory, and then of course has pretty even matchups with the backline too. So what I like to do here, it really depends on whether or not they shield the first move. So I build up to the Brave Bird, gonna go for the Sky Attack. They're likely to shield here, and they let it go through. So when they let it go through, I actually swap out into the Quagsire here to catch a Hydro Cannon. And at this point, I'm going to try and commit to the farm down. If they decide to stay in, we will have to invest one shield, but that's totally fine, because if they're giving me this free farm, it's going to go a long way in winning this game. It also makes me wonder what they have in the back. So we're down to shield, but we are loaded on energy right here. They come in with a Stunfisk into a loaded Quagsire. So Earthquake gonna come through. They decide to shield it up, and we should be able to get to a second one. They actually swap out into Altaria. We wouldn't beat it to a Rock Slide actually, but Altaria here is definitely a problem. That's another issue for the team, and a situation where you do want to keep that Skarmory alive, right? Because aside from the Quagsire, we're not running Stone Edge either. It is a very difficult Pokemon for this team. So Altaria here, probably going to shield this up, to be honest. Yes, we do. We want to get off this Sky Attack damage right here, which actually isn't going to be enough, and it didn't look like I would reach a Brave Bird there, so I just wanted to ensure I got off this damage right here. At this point, it really comes down to the opponent. We have to come with the Quagsire, hope they throw energy, which they do. So don't think we could farm down there before Dragon Breath would be close, but thankfully they throw their energy. Now we come to Swampert, they bring in the Galarian Stunfisk, going to throw the Hydro Cannon here, which actually isn't going to be enough to KO. So this match is not over yet, and we're going to get hit by an Earthquake. Our only play at this point is to completely farm down Mudshot, hope we have a Hydro Cannon ready to go because that Altaria is in the range, able to farm down there. Altaria comes back in, they're drawing energy after throwing at the Quagsire. Hydro Cannon going to be enough to take this game. There it is, Altaria getting taken out. A very tight game right there, but we pick up the win. Hopping into the next battle, and I believe this is one of the losses, so let's take a look how this plays out. It's another Swampert lead, so let's see how we play it compared to the last match. And I believe this is a game that I actually threw. It's not a game that we should have lost, so we're going to take a look at that right here. Skarmory going for the Sky Attack. This time I didn't build up to the Brave Bird because they're actually over farming quite a bit. So Sky Attack comes through, does get the shield, which is very, very nice. And they're loaded, so they probably have close to 2 Hydro Cannons. So I'm going to shield the first one, and they're going to throw a second one at any moment here. So I'm going to let this one go through, and then probably throw the Sky Attack, and then swap out into the Quagsire. They should be drawing energy right here. And they actually choose to double shield, so that's very nice. I come in with the Quagsire. And in this situation, maybe it would have made more sense to actually come with Swampert, only because Sludge Bomb actually isn't going to be enough to knock out the Swampert right here. And that's a big break for the opponent because they actually are able to get off another Hydro Cannon. Didn't know they had that much energy. So I decided to just let it go down here. Very unfortunate, we take the shield advantage, come in with the Swampert here, they bring in Machamp, CMP tie, again, have to shield this up. Hydro Cannon is going to one-shot the Machamp though, so things aren't looking too bad. Their Swampert is drawing energy. It really comes down to what they have in the back right here. And it's a Skarmory, so this is basically a pretty straightforward game here. We just throw the Hydro Cannon and then swap out before they get to the Sky Attack, and here's where the throw happens. So notice, look at where I click on the screen. The blue and purple is coming towards the moves. That means I didn't click the Skarmory. I missed the Skarmory, so it's going to count as another mud shot, which means that I'm not going to swap out on time, which means we're going to get knocked out here. And now my Skarmory is low in health, and I make another mistake here. I should have went for the Brave Bird because obviously Sky Attack isn't going to KO, but I was so tilted from throwing that game. At this point, I was like, what the heck? I clicked the button, I clicked the Skarmory, and it didn't register. Obviously, looking at the replay, I missed the button, so I was molding in the moment, and we lose that game. So definitely a winnable game, but we threw. Is what it is. Tough loss. Let's hop into the next battles. So these next sets, these are the most recent sets with this team. I believe they're ranked 16 and 17 if I'm not mistaken. We got Skarmory into an Altaria lead right here. So Altaria is probably the lead I've been seeing the most these past couple of days. I think in this set we saw like 4 of them. So pretty crazy how many Altaria out there right now. I mean, it's a very strong Pokemon, of course, but it is a problem for this team, and it presents an issue because we can't really swap out immediately. We need to do as much damage as we can with the Skarmory, and then keep the Skarmory alive for a potential grass type in the back. So it's pretty rough, and with an Altaria, there is the possibility of a grass type in the back too. So a lot of things to take into consideration here. I actually go for the Brave Bird, which isn't going to be enough to take out the Altaria here. And I swap out into the Quagsire. Fortunately for us, it's actually a simultaneous swap into a pretty good matchup here. And this is one of the reasons why I like running Sludge Bomb. It makes the Azumarill matchup winnable. So you can see Sludge Bomb dealing heavy damage right there. Actually gets to the second one. Probably gonna let this go through right here. Now we're gonna shield up because they did build up to the Hydro Pump. Okay, but they bait with the Ice Beam. So going to get off this Sludge Bomb right here. They can actually outpace us to a Hydro Pump, so I'm not worried about that. This is only going to be a Play Rough or an Ice Beam right here. And then we're going to get to the Sludge Bomb, but over farming quite a bit. A nice swap into Altaria, but I actually prefer this because we need to get rid of this Altaria anyways, so happy to get rid of that. And now if the Azumarill comes back in, they're probably not expecting this Quagsire to get to energy as quickly as it does, but here it is, another Sludge Bomb ready to go. Azumarill taken out. What's in the back? It's a Registeel. Instant swap out into the Swampert. And we're going to need 2 Hydro Cannons right here, but 1 Focus Blast isn't going to be enough to take us out, even as a Shadow. So this game is in the books. Focus Blast coming through deals heavy damage, of course, but we survive it. And the Hydro Cannon will be enough to take out the Registeel, take this game off to a 1-0 start here in the first set of these next 2. So hopping into the next battle right here. Going to be leading Skarmory into another Altaria. So like I said, there's a lot of Altarias in this set, which is not good, but let's see how we play them out. Opponent could play them out differently too. And I believe, yes, it's this match where they swap out. So I believe when I see the Probopass come in here, what I'm expecting basically is the Altaria double steel line, which is going to be amazing for us. Of course, Quagsire coming in here, a little bit of lag, but that's okay. Even with lag, Quagsire cannot lose this matchup against the Probopass. Earthquake coming through, taking it out, and the Altaria coming back in. Now we're going to get to Sludge Bomb. Imagine if we had Stone Edge here. Of course, there is always a drawback for Sludge Bomb. They would have let that go through. They would have took heavy damage, but I don't think it would have KO'd anyways. But look at this, they go for the farm now, so we get to a second Sludge Bomb. Works out in our favor anyways. Get the shield anyways, so perfect scenario there. I really like Sludge Bomb. Underrated move on Quagsire, I feel, especially with a Skarmory lead. Jirachi in the back, there is the double steal. Not the most typical double steal you see, it's actually a very spicy double steal, so huge props to this trainer, but unfortunately for them, this is kind of a hard counter line at this point, and Swampert is just going to run through them here. I believe the Skarmory also has a move ready to go, so the Altaria is absolutely zero threat at this point. Hydro Cannon taking out the Jirachi. The opponent is going to go for the farm down here, which makes sense. Hydro Cannon going to be dealing a lot of damage here, not enough to KO, and they do farm us down, but the Skarmory, we have a shield as well, so really nothing the opponent can do right here. Going for the no bubble sky attack KO, taking out the Altaria, off to a 2-0 start. Let's hop into the next battle. And I believe this is another Altaria lead right here. Yes, it is. So Skarmory into another Altaria lead. And let's see how it plays out this time. So I believe there was a bit of desync at the start of that match, which obviously is never optimal, but it's totally fine here. Maybe there was no desync actually. So Skarmory going to throw the sky attack here. I let that first one go through. I'm going to go straight for the sky attack here. I don't want to debuff myself at this point because both my Pokemon kind of struggle against the Altaria. So going to get to the second sky attack right here. Hoping to get the shield, but I'm going to likely swap out no matter what at this point. Yeah, here comes the Quagsire. And probably won't shield this, to be honest. The opponent might be close to 2 sky attacks, but I'm hoping I can outpace it to the Sludge Bomb, which we are able to do. This is huge for us. So let's see if the opponent decides to shield. They let it go through, takes out the Altaria. One of the biggest threats to the team gone. Medicham comes in, a very nice catch onto the Registeel right here. So Sludge Bomb comes through. They're going to farm us down, but unfortunately for this opponent, we have a great answer for that Registeel right here in the form of Swampert. So going to shield up this first move right here. Actually a Flash Cannon. Now that Medicham has a move ready, so things aren't looking too good for us at this point, and I kind of need to save that shield for the Medicham. So at this point right here, I should have thrown the Hydro Cannon immediately. I didn't, but this felt like a Flash Cannon. I can't really shield. I just had to take a chance, and it is a Flash Cannon. Swap out into the Medicham. Going to go for the Hydro Cannon right here. They're going to shield that up. They have a move ready to go. We're going to shield in return, hoping it's not a Power Up Punch, which it is. That is absolutely brutal. Going to go for the Hydro Cannon right here, and then swap out into the Skarmory. And we get to the sky attack just in time before that Medicham knocks us out. That's huge for us, leaving no HP as well on the Skarmory for that Registeel. Now it's a race to the charge move, and Swampert, Mr. Spam, gonna get to the move right here. This Hydro Cannon going to take out the Registeel, but the opponent doesn't want the smoke. This is not lag. This is them leaving the match, and I don't blame them because Registeel needs to catch that flight back to the Hoenn region. Bang! 1 HP KO. Get him out of here. Sending that Reggie back to Hoenn, and we take that game. Getting a little bit too excited right there, but yeah, the opponent obviously just forced closed the app. Probably were a little bit cheesed about that loss, but they kind of got hard counter there, to be fair. So we take that game. I mean, it wasn't really hard counter, but look at this. Opponent swapping into Venusaur. I'm not even paying attention right here. Earthquake coming through. Bang! There it is. 1 hit KO. We lost lead here against the Stunfisk. Let's try and explain this. The opponent goes for Rock Slide there. They didn't build up to the Earthquake, so obviously we're not going to shield it either. But when we swap out into the Quagsire there, we get a bit of an energy lead. The opponent's in such a tough spot there because if they shield, they're going to get farmed down completely by the Skarmory after, and then we're going to have absolutely loaded energy on the Skarmory. If they don't shield, they're going to get knocked out on the switch advantage. So it's like, what do you do there with the Venusaur, right? If that's your only grass counter, not knowing what this team is, pretty rough spot. Azumarill comes in. Swampert with a shield advantage is going to absolutely destroy that. So we take that game. Shadow Quagsire, don't sleep on the little Frog Toad. What is that? I don't even know what that thing is, but you guys do not want to sleep on this Pokemon. Absolute beast, as you saw in that last battle right there. And I've had that match happen about 5 times, and they almost never shield the Venusaur. So even when they do, it's still a winnable matchup because we get so much farm after. And they have a Azumarill in the back in most cases, which ends up losing with a shield deficit to the Swampert anyways, because Swampert takes care of both the Azumarill plus the Stunfisk with a shield advantage. So pretty tough spot for that team. And right here, we swap onto Quagsire. Cresselia, obviously a core breaker for the back line. So Earthquake, you see, does a lot of damage right here. And because we have a shield advantage here, I'm actually going to shield this up knowing I can get to this Sludge Bomb right here. And that's going to force the second shield most likely. So let's see what the opponent wants to do. We're loaded on energy right here. They do decide to shield, and they get a little bit greedy with the energy, which means the Quag is going to get to another Sludge Bomb, taking out the Cresselia. And now I found this interesting. I was looking to swap this into Skarmory, then I'm like, wait, what am I doing? Let me go into Swampert here because they likely would have brought in a grass type, right? So I come to Swampert here, going to let the Night Slash go through, get to the Hydro Cannon to Skarmory in the back. So 2 Hydro Cannons is going to be enough to take this out right here. Let's see if I overfarm a little bit. Just overfarming 1. I want to put this Swampert in a low enough health range where it doesn't get too much farm for the Obstagoon. So now we come in with the Skarmory right here. We shield up the first move, and we should be able to get to a Sky Attack here before the Obstagoon's next move, which is going to give us the victory. So Sky Attack coming through here. This will knock out the Obstagoon, and we're going to be able to go a perfect 5-0 in this set against 4. I mean, all 5 of these Pokemon are pretty difficult leads, but you see this team has a lot of flexibility, really good synergy as a core, and I really enjoy this team right now in the Great League. So jumping into the third and final set, showcasing this team today, we got Skarmory into a mirror match. So Skarmory versus Skarmory right here. At some point, we are going to have to switch out, of course, because we need to keep this alive for a potential grass type in the back. So what we're going to do here, we're going to build up to the Brave Bird, going to keep building up past it, going to wait for the opponent to throw first, to be honest. Actually hoping they do throw a Brave Bird at this point, because if they do, we're actually getting sort of a rebate here, because now at this point, Sky Attack's going to do just about as much as a Brave Bird with their lower defense, while we preserve some energy. But they make a great swap into the Stunfisk here to waste that energy. But thankfully for us, we got a great answer here. Coming in with the Swampert here instead of the Stunfisk. Main reason for this is because Swampert gets to Hydro Cannon a lot faster than the what's that thing called? The Quagsire. Sorry, gets to the Earthquake. I didn't shield there because obviously it was only a Rock Slide. They didn't build up to the Earthquake. No way they get to it that quickly. Coming back in with the Skarmory, we're going to go for the Hydro Cannon right here. That's going to get the shield. And at this point, we have 2 shields. May as well use one of our own. And I should be able to outpace it to the next move right here, but they swap out instead into Jellicent. So want to get off some chip damage here, even though Hydro Cannon isn't going to be doing too much. That chip damage is very nice. Coming in with the Skarmory right here, we're going to be able to get to the Sky Attack before the Jellicent throws a move. And right here, this is where the game gets interesting. So I throw the Sky Attack, and my idea at this point, I want to make this Jellicent dump all its energy. So I don't shield here because I think I'll outpace it to the move. I know I'm not going to outpace it, but I want it to dump all of its energy so I'm able to come in here after with my Mud Boy, get the energy lead without having to worry about getting hit by a move. The Skarmory comes back in. I'm going to be able to throw the Sludge Bomb right here, which will get the shield from the Skarmory, swap out into the Swampert, able to outpace it to the Hydro Cannon. This will take out the Skarmory. The Jellicent is dry on energy. 1 Mud Shot, farm it down, take that game. So the shield there wasn't a case of shielding to get to the move, but a case of just wanting the opponent to dump all of its energy on us to make the matchup easier for our own Pokemon in the back. Skarmory to Deoxys right here. Deoxys definitely is a bit of an issue when it's running Psycho Boost, because against the Shadow, Swampert actually has a pretty good match. I tried to catch the Thunderbolt there, but the opponent held off from throwing, so a very nice play on their part. Going to shield up the Psycho Boost right here, and I actually battled this opponent the day before, and we were able to win. So I should have definitely understood that the opponent would likely make some changes, and as you can see right here, they're very protective of their Sableye. So I likely could have got the shield there with the Sludge Bomb, but I decided to let that go down here, come back in with the Skarmory, and this is where I'm going to make the mistake, because the opponent, big props to them, they definitely made some adjustments from the previous game, and they knew how important it was to keep this Sableye here doing all the damage, so actually lower my own defense, which isn't good. Deoxys comes back in, they get a nice energy lead. Opponent is playing this extremely well. Going to shield up the Psycho Boost right here. At this point, because the Sableye actually has a move ready, I'm in such a tricky spot because I know what their third Pokemon is. I battled them yesterday. It's actually a Galarian Stunfisk, so that's why they don't want to see this on the Stunfisk in the back. As the Psycho Boost go through, I basically need to have 2 Hydro Cannons after taking out this Deoxys. So Hydro Cannon comes through, I need to farm down here. We have the 2 Hydro Cannons ready. I need to land 1 on the Sableye if it comes in, likely has a move ready, and then the Stunfisk comes in. So right here, I throw on Hydro Cannon, it's not enough to KO, so I'm forced to throw the second, at which point now the Sableye will come in. It's going to take us out, so I come with the Skarmory. Maybe if they threw immediately, I doubt they would, but if they did throw out the Swampert, maybe I could have got to the Sky Attack there. Highly doubt it. Might not have been enough to KO anyways, but very well played there by the opponents. Definitely got outplayed in that match, and that was a very impressive performance there. They played that perfectly. So Skarmory into Shadow Hypno right here. Shadow Hypno does have Thunder Punch, but still taking a lot of damage, as you can see from those air slashes. Swap out into the Quagsire to catch the Thunder Punch. Most likely could be Fire Punch, but they're mostly always running Thunder Punch. And the opponent makes a great swap into the Umbreon here. So anything I can do, they can do better. One-upping me on the swap, and we're going to go for the Earthquake right here. Now we do have a big energy lead, as you know. Quagsire loves an energy lead. Right here, I'm going to let this go through and just come back in. Well, maybe they undercharged that. That was not the most ideal situation, but come in with the Star right here. I'm actually going to throw this immediately. If they want to get out this foul play, they have to shield. They decide to let it go down instead, so I'm okay with that. Hypno comes back in. We could take 1 Thunder Punch, but we're definitely going to have to shield 1 as well. So I'm going to shield up the first one right here. And we are down in shields. We'll definitely survive this second Thunder Punch, so I'm not too worried about that. And the opponent is going to save their Hypno here. So going to take a Sky Attack. Are they going to shield this up? They let it go through. So Hypno, Double, Dark, the Vergivirg line. We got Umbreon and Scrafty. Pretty difficult here because Scrafty wins this matchup quite convincingly against Swampert, especially with an energy, with a shield advantage. So going for the Hydro Cannon, my only win condition here is basically sneaking in the extra mud shots. So the timing is absolutely, it needs to be perfect in this match, basically is what I'm trying to say. We sneak in another mud shot right there. At this point, I realize I need to shield here. I can't get to a move on the Skarmory. I need to hope I get to it on the Swampert, which I'm able to do despite a double buff on the Power Punch. Coming with the Skarmory, able to farm down and take that game. Absolute clutch moments right there at the end. Kind of shocked that they didn't get to a move right there, but thankfully for us, we take that game against a very difficult team for this line. So Skarmory into Medicham right here. Pretty good matchup in general for Skarmory. Opponent swaps out to Stunfisk, and here comes the big hurt Swampert. Gonna go for the Hydro Cannon right here, and the opponent actually shields, which was a bit interesting here. And obviously you're gonna match shields at this point. There's pretty much nothing the Stunfisk could do here if they want to go even to the 2 shields, because Hydro Cannon, it spams fast, right? So the only way we lose basically is calling the bait here, which we're never going to do. Have to shield the Earthquake, just get to the next Hydro Cannon. And because they went for Earthquake, we overfarm a little bit more before throwing this Hydro Cannon, which is going to take them out. Now we're still relatively healthy. They come with Altaria, which is actually a bit of an issue at this point, but thankfully Sludge Wave does actually hurt quite a bit coming from Swampert, especially a Shadow. So swap out into the Skarmory right there. Actually a simultaneous swap. At this point they are looking to get hit by a Brave Bird. That game actually wasn't over because we did have a Quagsire in the back, but the opponent didn't know that. So we'll take the exit right there and win that game. Could have been a lot tougher, but we do take that game. Skarmory into a Politoed right here. And Politoed, I've definitely noticed a difference with the Weather Ball nerf. It's not as oppressive as it used to be. I think that was the correct call by Niantic to nerf it. Initially, I didn't think the nerf was enough, but clearly it looks like it does play quite a bit of a factor in some of these matchups. So going to take another Weather Ball right here, totally fine. At some point, we need to swap out though. So I'm going to go for the Sky Attack right here and then look to swap into the Quagsire. The opponent lets that go through. And this could be an Earthquake or a Blizzard. I'm going to let it go through anyways. We do tank that. And we're able to farm down, so the opponent's staying in right there. Gives us a little bit of free energy. They come in with a Hypno, so I'm going to go for the Earthquake right here, which of course will be dealing heavy damage, but it will not KO the Hypno. But they decide to shield. So at this point, I'm thinking they probably want to keep the Hypno in good health because they're afraid of the Skarmory most likely. Want to get off a bunch of Thunder Punches there. So we shield the Shadow Ball, which is absolutely huge. We're going to be able to get to 2 Hydro Cannons right here against the Hypno, which will knock it out. And then we're going to see what their third Pokemon is. Likely going to be something weak to Skarmory. And it is, in fact, an Abomasnow. And we're going to end this matchup in style. We're not going to bring in the Skarmory here. We're going to shield up, and we're going to go for the big Sludge Wave KO. The Abomasnow, no shields left. You guys already know what's coming. Sludge Bomb coming through. Bang! There it is. Abomasnow catching the work right there. We take that game 4-1 after a 5-0. This team absolutely insane right now. Very happy with the results. So those were the battles featuring Skarmory and the Double Mud Boy Strat. Once again, this is a team that Battle Bill used to great success in earlier seasons, and we're bringing it back right here with Shadow Quagsire instead. The thing is an absolute beast. I hope I sold you guys on Shadow Quagsire in this video. You don't need a Shadow one. The non-Shadow is actually ranked a lot higher on PV Poke. The Shadow is definitely grossly underranked in my opinion. Very underrated pick, but it is a monster, and I highly recommend this Pokemon. If you guys enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like, commenting, subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.